Hello everyone, this is Jonathan Little, and I am currently in New York City for a few days before I'm going to go to the Borgata in Atlantic City for a $2,000 tournament and also for the main event, which I think is $3,500, and I think you can re-enter a bunch of times. So that's currently what I have going on. Since my last video blog at the PCA, I ended up taking 20th place in, I think it was 20th place. Yeah, 20th place in a $2,000 event for $5,000. I actually had a really good shot to do well in that one. There were maybe, we were on the bubble, so I think the bubble was around 38 players or something like that. I had 10-4 suited in the big blind. Someone min-raised, and then 3 or 4 other people called, and I decided to take a flop, which is, you know, speculative, but fine. We were around 40 big blinds deep, I think, maybe 50 big blinds deep. So I checked the initial raiser, bet, I check raised, he went all in, I called, and lost to ace queen. He, I don't know what he made. I ended up losing though. So that put me down to a very short stack, and then I grinded that short stack as hard as I could, got in the money, and then hung out for a little bit more. I actually ended up getting 2.5 buy-ins, which is way more than a min cash, despite never really having a fantastic shot. So that's good. Then a few days later in the $25,000 buy-in event, I ended up min cashing that as well. That was a completely different story than the $2,000 event because I never really had chips at all the entire time. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but fine. You know, it's never fun whenever you have no chips. Every time I got chips, actually, I would usually find a way to bluff them off. They were sort of like standard bluff spots too. It's not like I was doing anything blatantly absurd, but sometimes you just have to run a bluff. You know, if you have king queen and it comes 10-9-3 and you bet the flop, then you decide to barrel the turn for whatever reason, and then you decide to get an ace on the river and you decide to bluff the ace river, you're probably gonna lose some chips, especially if they're calling you down with pocket threes. So that happened quite a few times, and apparently I don't need to be bluffing too often. But I ended up min cashing, actually slightly more than min cash again. I think a min cash on that was like 45,000 and I got 50,000. So that's fine. I actually think I did pretty good at the PCA overall. I spent a lot of time working on this new project I have coming out in the very near future. I'm going to be reviewing a hand history where I won 49,000 online in a $100 buy-in tournament. It was one of the bigger 109 tournaments on PokerStars. So every morning I would wake up, and for however long I had, I would spend that time reviewing that hand history, and I'm just now about to have it finished, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually going to do a live webinar on January 23rd, I think. It's probably wrong. Friday, January 23rd, I think it's 7 p.m. and 2015 for those watching this well in the future, where I'm going to be reviewing some of the hands live. So definitely sign up for my email list at jonathanlittlepoker.com to get access to that. I think I'm going to start streaming a little bit on Twitch TV. You can get my site, or you can find my profile at twitch.tv/JonathanLittle. I did a full stream on Sunday from the Bahamas. I had a lot of help from Evan Jarvis, also one of my friends Jerry came there. A guy from Twitch named Scott hooked me up with a lot of good information and taught me how to use the program at least marginally well. And I think it went pretty well. I didn't win any money. Actually, it wasn't really that bad of a Sunday. I think I lost a few thousand, but I had a few deep runs, so I at least had a shot. But it was a good time, and I think I'm going to do that more, particularly when I'm out of America, because you can't play on PokerStars or Full Tilts or anything like that from America. So whenever I'm out of America, I will probably be streaming some. And when I'm in America, I thought it might be pretty cool to review stuff like the Sunday Million, because I can watch the replay of the Sunday Million from America where they show all the hole cards. And I thought that would be a pretty cool educational thing. So if you guys think that would be fun to review and we could just hang out and chat all day, let me know. I think that would be a nice thing I could do for America, and it would be very educational, because I always want to sit down and watch those, particularly like the Super Tuesday, which is a pretty high stakes $1,000 buy-in tournament. In theory, it would be a good idea to sit down and study those pretty hard, but I never really do it. And I think that doing it through Twitch would be a great way to actually sit down and force myself to do it. So yeah, that's that. After Atlantic City, I'm going to be going to Deauville, France. I've never been there, but I heard it's freezing cold. But luckily I like the freezing cold. So I'm looking forward to that. I hear the poker is amazing there. But beyond that, I don't think there's too much to do, probably because it's freezing cold. But that's going to be a nice, fun trip. That's a spot where you can go put in a lot of volume, and really you can put in a ton of volume on all the EPT events. A lot of people have been asking me, why have I not been playing too much in America recently? And the answer is because it's really hard to get in a ton of money invested. And as poker gets tougher, you really do have to find ways to invest a lot of money, and it's just not going to cut it going to a tournament stop, like flying to a tournament stop, staying in an expensive hotel, and then playing a $3,500 buy-in re-entry tournament and going home, and it takes a week. That's not going to cut it in terms of making a good hourly rate. Whereas when you go to the EPTs, you can go there for 10 days and invest 30,000 euros and turn whatever 50% ROI. I'll certainly go travel for 10 days to make 15,000 euros, which is roughly $20,000. That's a pretty sweet deal. So that's why I've been going to Europe more often, for those who have been asking. And also you can play online from a lot of the stops in Europe, which is also a very nice bonus. Yeah, that's it for now. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely let me know. Be sure to check out jonathanlittlepoker.com for a lot of free blog content, and also my podcast, Weekly Poker Hand. I've been updating those every week, as I said I would when I first started the site, I guess 6 months ago or so now. So yeah, check that out. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you next time.